The last year. Let's talk about where we were a year ago. Let's start there.
Okay.
The disappointment of coming home, not being able to defend a championship last year, second guessing, everything that went on. Talk about from that day to now and the journey it's been.
It's been a grind. I'm not going to lie to each and every one of you. When you lose people like this, and it's a grind for these guys, come over here, you big son of a bitch. Sorry, don't mean to say that, but it's such a grind to tell you, and he can attest to this because he's been with me the whole time. The fact that these kids and the journey they took from Portales to today has been excruciating. They felt bad. I felt the worst, and I apologize to the families. He can attest to this. Guys, when the season started in August, we knew we had something special. I sat down with the coaches. We sat down at the coaches meeting, and I told them this is a once in 20-year team because you're not going to get athletes like this gathered up. They own their lives, they own their job, they own this school, and now they're the #1 team in the state.
First half goes back and forth, and there's all sorts of penalties. It's an erratic game, to say the least, in the first half.
Yes.
What was the message at halftime?
You know what? When I went in there, all the seniors were telling everybody, we're okay. We got this. I got your back. You got mine. We are a family. Stay together. Don't lose your focus. Do everything we need to do. And the last thing they said is Elias Johnson got up on the bench, promise you, hand to God, and sit there and told the whole team, we will win this. And he didn't disappoint.
Second half comes out. Defensively, you're a completely different team. You got Cole Gosnell with the punt block, Mikkel with the recovery, Elias, Tatum, Hunter with the pick six.
Pick six, yes, I'm telling you.
What did they do differently in the second half that they didn't do or they couldn't do in the first half? What was different?
I think the first half they were playing on nerves. In the second half, when they got in the locker room and said, this is not our football, we're going to play our style of football in front of our fans. And they came out here and they executed every phase of the game on defense. When you have 2 punt blocks, you have Hunter just grabbing the ball out of the air on a missed throw, and you have these guys attacking and swarming and players going down. Guys, this couldn't have ended any better for our season right there. That defense right there is the best in the state.
Let's talk about St. Pius for a little bit, because that's a legit football team and across the field from you. Yeah,
absolutely. They're all back. They're legit. He's got guys that are going to grow. He's got guys, and Coach, he was just sitting over here. Coach Flake has done a wonderful job at St. Pius. And you know what? We got some big shoes to fill, and hopefully we get to meet him again in Albuquerque next year, and we'll have it out again.
How important was it for Blake to have not just the passing, which was, again, a little bit erratic in the first half, but the running game, which he just exploded in the second half?
Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Cody Smith and Chad Lance went in there with Jose Santa-Stevens, and this was the first conversation they had. They said, we need to run the ball. The way they're emptying the box and they're coming off the edge, we need to go right up the middle. So the first play, they said, we're going to do this, because we saw it on film when they played West Mesa, and would it go 70-something?
Yeah.
It went the distance, and that really just set the tone for the second half for us.
And then Peyton Duncan took over in the second half also, and he had a huge game.
Yes.
And it's just, there's so many different players, there's so many different guys that had a contributing factor. I even made the comment that the pass deflection that Andrew Himes made on that third down pass down the field on the sideline, and he deflected at the last second. That was huge, because you could have, that was a game changer. That was a little bit of a changer, because otherwise they get it within two scores late in the third quarter.
And that's what we were worried about. We didn't want to give them within 2 scores again. I was worried about it. But you know what? All year we've come up with those breaks. Those kids have made those plays. And when you ask, and we talk about this every week, that guy right there, Damon Lynch, and his DB coach Fred Perez, when you can knock down plays and you can do things like that to help your defense, you're always going to land home.
Talk about the seniors. Talk about them a little bit and just what it means for you to have guided them through these last few years.
You know what? Guiding those guys since they were freshmen, we knew we had something special with them. When the Gosnells moved here their sophomore years and they came into this, it just opened up the umbrella for us on defense, and we knew what we had. We've been bragging about this all season, but we've really been looking forward to this for 2 years, to see these guys be seniors. Now, we're losing 5 linebackers, and it's going to be hard to replace those 5. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about celebrating, and then I'll get into next year. But, guys, this team did everything they could for you guys, and it was absolutely amazing.
Talk about this guy over here a little bit.
So,
the athletic director here, Ben Tensei, and just, the contributions of these players, the contributions of these gentlemen and the coaching staff. Talk about what that means to you.
Well, first of all, I think that what he brings to the program is amazing, as well as all what the coaches do to uplift this community as a whole. This means a lot to the community, and this is one of the reasons why we come together to celebrate our student athletes here at Bloomfield. And so I appreciate everything he does. I appreciate what our board does to support our athletic programs, and I'm just so proud of him and what he continues to do to build these kids and just to be better young men as they get older and graduate from Bloomfield.
What about him? What do you want to say about him?
The best. He's the best in the state right now, an athletic director. He's not only on the national board, he's on the national committees for high school sports. He's also an individual that's a great leader to all the coaches. He's also a guy that you want to emulate after because he's a reputable man, he's a Christian man, and he loves Bloomfield. He come from a place, he come as a basketball gentleman, and he came in here and took athletics by the horn, and he said, we're going to have the best coaching. And if you look at our sports in Bloomfield right now, we're one of the top tiers in 4 or 5A, depending on what we're doing at the time. So to have him in the place that he's in, and to have just the fortitude to do my job with no worries, and he just protects, and he's always telling me, go do something else, go be better. So he's the world to me right now.
I believe there's only two or three schools in New Mexico that went undefeated this year. What does that mean?
Anytime you're looking at an undefeated season and you look at the outcome and you win a state championship, it's first of all, it's a blur. Because I can tell you right now, I thought it was August just a couple weeks ago, and here we are in December, and we're state champs. And we're state champs because of this group right here. These men right here, this is James Olivas. He's part of our administration, and he's been here week in and week out and believes in everything. So when you have a group of administrators, the board, and you have coaches and family members, we're all from Bloomfield. We love Bloomfield. And you put it all together, you're going to have an undefeated season. You're going to have the kids that have the backing that they want to excel in. And so we just love it. And then you got this character in basketball, and Doc. So we
academic advisor. I just had to. You know, I had to.
Steve, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you have coaches, all of us coaches get along, and we all love each other, and we all embrace. And everybody out there, I want you to remember one thing that he brought. He had it out west, but now we have it, and it's deep here. It's one mission, one vision, and we all believe in that. And that's what we govern ourselves every day as a coaching unit here at Bloomfield High School. We have student athletes, but we have the best right now in 4A, and I'm just going to enjoy it right now.
Mike Kovacs, head coach, the
guys.
undefeated Class 4A champion, Bloomfield Bobcats. Thank you.
Thank you.